Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our second weekly coffee break. This week we have Shannon Wright, Assistant Director of Career Services with us. So we're very excited that he's with us today. Just to give you a little bit of information, I have some info on the slide for you, but if you're having any issues with your video or sound, just kind of use your computer audio if possible. There is a Q&A box at the bottom, so you can type in questions that you have. So feel free to do that, and we will answer those as we go about this session. And then there is a chat feature at the bottom, so you can chat and just put in, your name, what year you graduated, all that fun stuff, and we can kind of chat through the Q&A since you're not able to talk during this session. But we are recording it, and this will be posted on our website. So thank you all for joining us today. We're really excited. My name is Rachel Hewerman. I'm the Director of Alumni Relations, and it's been a fun couple of weeks getting to do all these virtual events for everybody, and we're really getting used to the virtual platform. So thank you for bearing with us for technical difficulties and giving us your suggestions along the way. I'm going to bounce it over to Shannon and let him introduce himself, and then I have a couple of questions prepared for him, so I'll be looking down to ask some of those questions throughout these next couple of minutes. Shannon?
Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, so my name's Shannon Wright. As Rachel indicated, I'm the Assistant Director for Career Services at Lindenwood. So a little bit of background about myself. I've been with Lindenwood now for 5 years. I started as a career strategist, actually working with the evening programs, and then moved to working with the School of Business, and then moved into the Assistant Director role a couple of years ago. So my background, I'm going to say my undergrad is from Eastern Illinois University. I've got my degree originally was in history. I've been in career services now for about 8 years. I've actually worked for a couple of for-profit schools before moving into Lindenwood. I also have a background working with McGraw-Hill Higher Education for about 7 years prior to that. So I've been in higher ed, I guess now for around 10, 15 years, give or take, in different roles.
Very cool. So Shannon, you're the Assistant Director of Career Services, but you're housed within Experiential Learning. So can you kind of talk about the structure of your department and what the Center for Experiential Learning is exactly?
Yes, so the Center for Experiential Learning is kind of a new concept. It really kind of took off on campus last fall. So what that center consists of are 3 different areas. So obviously there's career services. So underneath the Center for Experiential Learning lives career services, study abroad, and service learning. Career services is a lot of the traditional career support type things that you would have expected from a traditional career services department. Obviously, the things like resume critiques, job search strategies, choosing career pathways, and obviously employer relations and job postings and things like that. So that's what lives under career services. Study abroad is study abroad. We have a strategist who specializes in working with students with study abroad opportunities, whether it be an internship, whether it be an entire semester, whether it be whatever option. There's a faculty-led type study abroad opportunity, so students can come in and walk through those with the strategist. Service learning is the newest component for the Center for Experiential Learning, and that's something that's really just kind of taking off. And so what service learning is kind of a different type of experience. It's a high impact practice where students are in the classroom, but then going out into the community and learning skills, learning hands-on how to apply some of the concepts from the classroom. And then there's the additional piece that a lot of people forget about with service learning is where it comes back into the classroom or comes back into a course, or there's a reflective piece on how were those skills applied, and what skills do I need to continue to develop? What concepts am I missing, and that sort of thing. So there's a reflective piece coming back on service learning, and that's something that we're developing. And one of our strategists is actually working on creating a course where students who may be already participating in service learning can come back and get credit for that experience.
Very cool. Shannon, I don't know if you're able to turn up your volume just a little bit. One of our viewers just said that you're a little light on that end, so I don't know if you're able to do that at all.
Let's see if that helps. That's probably better.
Yes, go down slightly because now you're very loud on my end, if that's okay.
All right, give me
Oh yeah, she said that's much better. That's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem.
Um, and so you kind of mentioned the career services, the study abroad, and the service learning. And I'm just kind of thinking these are a lot of services for our students, but alums might want to get involved in some of these sections as well. So could you even go through maybe how an alum might be involved through any of these tiers, or if they can be helped in certain areas, if they can volunteer to help in certain areas, any insight that you might have for our alumni?
Absolutely. So on the career services side, one thing that I didn't really mention in that conversation is where the experiential learning comes in on the career service side. All of our strategists, everyone in the department, we help coordinate the internship programs through the various academic schools. So if I have an alumnus who is working for an organization or owns a business who might be interested in bringing on an intern, we are the people to contact. We're your main source of information on how do I set up an internship, how do I find a student to be my intern. They can reach out to us directly as a group, and we'll help walk through that process. So that would be the internship side. The same thing would apply to service learning. Maybe you're not looking for an intern, but maybe you have a project, maybe you have a need, a business need. One thing that I throw out as an example for a service learning project would be, maybe you're a small business and you don't have a marketing plan. You need something, it's basic help, but you don't necessarily need an intern to come in and help create that. That's something where we could possibly work with a marketing faculty member to help their class maybe can do a group project, help develop a marketing plan for your small business. And it's a reflective opportunity where the faculty member is actually going to be the one guiding them through that process, but then also helping you with the need as well as an employer. So that's kind of where I get into that that service learning. It could be something like that. It could be that there's a nonprofit out there who needs help in a specific way, where you have students who can utilize that as a service learning opportunity. Study abroad is a little different. This would be for, especially for maybe our international alumni, or maybe an organization who may be looking to sponsor someone. Maybe you have a vested interest in study abroad in the experience. If you wanted to support a student and maybe sponsor a student, I know Elizabeth Snell is looking for a different, and Elizabeth Snell is our assistant director for study abroad, and so she's going to be that contact for study abroad. But she's looking for ways to provide different opportunities to students. Or if you're an alumnus who's abroad and who has an internship opportunity, that's something where we would work with you in helping maybe find an opportunity for one of our students to go abroad and get that experience. We've had that happen a couple of times where someone abroad has said, hey, we'd love to bring someone down. I work with this company. And so we try to help partner and find, promote those opportunities so students can find them.
Very cool. You've mentioned internships a few times, and I know that internships are looking quite different today due to everything with stay-at-home orders and things like that. So I know that you all recently introduced the concept of micro internships. So could you talk about micro internships and what those are, how students can kind of get involved with those, and how alums have a say in those micro internships and how they can help?
Absolutely. So micro internships are essentially what they sound like. It's just a smaller version of an internship. Essentially, how I like to describe it is something along the lines of, you have a specific need for a project that may only take between 5 and 40 hours. So it may be, if you're working a full 8-hour week, it may only take that student 1 week to do that. That's not a traditional internship. Typically for us, an internship, a full-blown internship, would be 150 hours, where that student works a minimum 150 hours, they'll receive credit and that sort of thing. A micro internship is much more project-based. This is where I always say, if it's something that you may have hired a freelancer to do, maybe it's, a little bit of work on a website, maybe it's some business development where you're updating a database and it's only going to take about 20 hours, you think, to do that work. Those are types of things that students can do. And what we're looking for with a micro internship is primarily for the student or a recent graduate to build experience. So it's going to be a resume builder. What we ask from the employer is that you still give them the experience of an internship. So yes, they're coming in and filling a role for you, they're completing a project, they're completing a task. But you also in that time are going to provide them with feedback. You're going to provide them with information on, the field that they're choosing. So, if a student's going in and doing maybe some web design or something like that, they're providing that service of working on your website, but you're also going to tell them how what they're doing interacts with the rest of the business, how maybe your sales department utilizes what they're doing on the website and that sort of thing. So you're giving them that an abbreviated internship experience. And a lot of that is so that those students can add information, add experience to their resume. And we're also working with some of our academic schools, depending on the number of hours that students are completing it. If a student completes a 40-hour micro internship, this may be something that they can turn into credit, a 1-credit course or something along those lines too. So it would show up on a transcript.
Very cool. And so if somebody were interested in hosting a micro internship or anything like that, they just reach out to your office and kind of start that conversation?
Yeah, reach out directly to us. Right now with our micro internships, we're kind of doing those in-house. We're actually looking at partnering with Parker Dewey. And so Parker Dewey is, I don't want to say one of the leading, it is the leading micro internship site out there. So right now we have information out on the career services page. So you can go out to the career services page on the Lindenwood website, and there's more information about micro internships. There's kind of a frequently asked questions flyer, outlining here's what you would need to do. But what I usually tell alumni is, if in doubt, reach out to us and we'll walk you through the process of adding a micro internship. Or if you just have some general questions about the opportunity, let us know and we can walk you through everything.
Great, thank you. So I know that during this time, we're kind of trying to help our students seek out these opportunities and letting our alums know that they can host these opportunities. But I also know that a lot of alums out there are currently unemployed and might need some help with their career, maybe some resumes and things like that. And so I think a lot of people are questioning how can Lindenwood help them even after they've graduated, and what kind of resources are out there for alumni. So can you kind of talk about what your office offers to alums and how we can help them even, for years to come?
Yes. So as an alum, you are entitled to services. So you can reach out to career services. The way we're set up is there are 4 strategists. So myself, I work with students out of the health sciences and then students out of the natural sciences. We have Elizabeth Ashcraft, who works with education and arts, media, and communication. Emily Albers works with business, and Erica Hatfield works with humanities and the social sciences. So you have a strategist. Those same schools or the same breakdown applies to an alumnus. If you've graduated and you need services, and so this could be what most common with an alum on the alumni side are resume critiques. If you need help with updating your resume, that's the thing right now with the economy and a lot of the ongoing changes, making sure your resume is updated. That's something we can help with. We're doing all these sessions virtually. If you go to the Career Services website and you look at the staff, each of us have a Calendly link. You can set up an appointment with us through our Calendly link on our website. So you don't even have to shoot an email. You can set up an appointment directly that way, or simply send us an email and we can set up a one-on-one appointment. But like I said, resumes, cover letters, job search strategies, especially those who may be looking at changing careers. That's something that we can help walk you through the process. We can give some resources out there to help you explore different careers. Maybe what skills would you need to pick up and that sort of thing. All of the online resources. So as an alum, you're entitled to log into Handshake. Handshake is our jobs database. So every full-time, part-time, or internship position that we're an employer partner reaches out to us, we post that in Handshake first. So if you have any questions about setting up an account on Handshake, reach out directly to us. We can help you set up that account on Handshake also. But in essence, every resource that's given to a current student is going to be given to an alum, to our alumni. For instance, once the semester starts as well, we're going to be doing, when we step back into career fairs, whether that be a face-to-face career fair or a virtual career fair, alumni are more than welcome to attend those events as well.
Great. Thank you for that information. That's very helpful. Some of our alums might be from maybe an accelerated degree program and weren't necessarily your traditional St. Charles student, or maybe even a Belleville alum. And so they might question who they might go to if they didn't fall within a specific school that you mentioned. So is there kind of, do they reach out to you directly, or just the general career services email and kind of get connected from there?
You can either reach out to me directly, swright, SWRIGHT, at lindenwood.edu, or the general career services, so career services at lindenwood.edu emails. We will make sure that if it's not myself who's working with you, I'll make sure to direct you to the proper career strategist to work. And the reason that we do that, the reason that we specialize in those individual schools, is maybe, you know, for instance, in the School of Business, Emily, a lot of times we work with employers also. So each of us are working with our employer partners. Emily works with more of those employer partners who are on the business side. So I prefer to turn students and alumni over to her if at all possible, because she's had more conversations with employers. She knows who's looking for who's looking for interns, who's looking for full-time and that sort of thing, probably a little better than myself. And then it corresponds with each different academic area. So that's why we specialize. But one of us will definitely provide services, and we can all do, you know, resume critiques in any field. We can do mock interviews and that sort of thing.
Great. Well, we haven't gotten any questions in the Q&A chat, but just a general, what can we be doing on our end to be helping the Career Services Office in the Center for Experiential Learning, both on the alumni relations side and even just as alums, you know, ourselves, being an alum? How can we help you? And, you know, in return, you know, how can we keep that relationship going, I guess?
Yeah. So three things really come to the top of my mind on our side. I mean, if you're working for a company right now who's hiring, let us know. We will do what, you know, we're obviously going to post it in Handshake, so all of our students and alumni who are in Handshake see those opportunities, but we'll do what we can to promote it. We've actually been doing some coffee chats with various employers. We've done one with Mercy. We've done one with TQL Warehousing. We've done one or two with some of the school districts in the area, where they get to kind of come on and talk about general resource or general, you know, interviewing tips and things like that, job search tips, but then also promoting positions that they may have open as well. So definitely let us know if there's a job out there that you're seeking a candidate for, because we can get the word out to our students and alumni. The second piece, internships and micro internships. Even if you don't know if you know necessarily that an opportunity you have may fit an intern, let us reach out to us. We can help walk through if that's a possibility. If it's an internship or a micro internship, we can help walk you through that process. We can also help you get the word out again to students who may be looking for those opportunities. And even now, a lot of times our graduating seniors, you know, seniors who are maybe struggling right now, you know, they've graduated, but in the economy right now, they may be struggling looking for a full-time position. Those recent graduates may really benefit from a micro internship or a project-based opportunity, so that they can build that experience and also, you know, add to that resume right out of graduation. Whereas before they may have been stepping straight into a job, and now that next job may not be until July or so, when employers start really opening back up. So internships and micro internships, reach out to us if you have those opportunities or questions. And then the third piece, and this is something I spoke with Rachel a little bit about, is even if you can't offer either one of those, but you can extend your network to a student or a recent graduate or an alumnus. And how I typically phrase this, a lot of times when I work with a student, I'll be working with them and they'll have questions very specific to a certain industry. And I've been in a lot of industries. I've had a lot of roles over the course of my life, but I'm by no means an expert in any of them necessarily. So what I usually try to do is try to find someone, and I usually will phrase it as an informational interview as a good way to start, where if you're an alumnus and you're willing to take 15, 20, 30 minutes with a student or recent graduate or an alumnus who is looking for an opportunity to just talk through your role and what you do and how you, you know, how you landed your role and that sort of thing with the company. I always refer to it as an informational interview. ideally the person who's calling you for the information is the one who's asking you the questions, and you're providing them the resources. It doesn't have to be a full-blown mentorship type opportunity, but it's getting someone some experience or some information about a specific role that they may be interested in. I do that a lot with students, where I try to reach out and connect them with someone who can give them a lot better information than I can. And it also extends networks. Ideally, I'll tell them, you have your LinkedIn account set up. Once you make that contact, you have that in, and then you start building your connections that way. So it's a way for everyone to start staying a little more connected.
Yeah, and I think that especially during these times, if a student didn't get to finish their internship, or they're still debating what career they want to go into, having some of these informational interviews would be very helpful, because it kind of lets them know, would they want to take that career path? Would they want to try a job in that area? And I think that we can all say that we've all had jobs that weren't our dream jobs, but they taught us a lot. And, we're glad that we were still there and got those skills to kind of lead us to where we are today. One of our attendees asked how many graduates are typically successful in getting jobs in their area of study. I don't know if you have stats on that.
Ooh, in their area. I mean, so I think our last first destination survey. So so another thing that the office does is we administer the first destination survey, and the first destination survey is administered to recent graduates saying, are you employed? Where are you employed? And how relevant is it to your major? What we don't get a lot of information on is how relevant it is to their major. Many people don't necessarily answer that portion of the question, because they're not required to answer the entire survey. I believe, I think we were at 96%, 94 to 96%. It's on the website. 94 to 96% employed full-time. How many specifically within their field, I don't know. I can't remember that number off the top of my head. But it's generally pretty successful. It's over 50% employed in their field. And that's based off the numbers that we get off that survey. And I know we're completing the next survey, so I'll probably have updated numbers before the end of this summer. That survey is administered yearly, so we'll have some updated numbers, and those are posted out on the website also.
Great. Well, thank you. I don't see any other questions coming through, but I just wanted to give you a big thank you and say thank you for chatting with us for just a few minutes today. These weekly coffee breaks are really just a way to get to know what others are doing across the university and how we can help and continue to partner with folks, and how alums can get more involved. But next week we will have enrollment management with us, and they will be talking about different recruitment strategies. So how we're recruiting our students, how alums can help recruiting our students. So if you're interested, feel free to come back next week. But Shannon, thank you so much. I really appreciate it and look forward to working with you more. And do you have any other last minute thoughts or?
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone for the opportunity. And, if anyone has any questions and you're not sure if it necessarily applies to career services or Center for Experiential Learning, if in doubt, reach out. We can definitely help in any way we can. And if I can't, if it's outside my purview or outside of an area for us, we'll definitely help any alumni connect with the people that they need to connect with.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Shannon. I'm going to stop this recording, but thank you all for attending, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.